Doing Time with Deputy Mike.
Hi, welcome back to Doing Time with Deputy Mike. I'm your host, Mike, and today we're going to go round two of conspiracy theories. We're going to talk about missing airplanes, UFOs, and the Loch Ness Monster. So let's move on to roll call. Meet our guest. Grab your feet and take a seat. It's roll call time. Go ahead. We'll start right here.
All right. I'm Andrew. I'm on the podcast team, and I'm in Interactive Multimedia.
I'm Ryan, and I'm part of web design and application development.
I'm Gavin. I'm also part of web and app design.
My name is Gabe. I'm a part of the TC Time crew, and I am an IMM.
Well, welcome aboard. How's everybody doing today? Good. So
Good.
let's go ahead and go into interrogation real fast.
Interrogation time.
Go ahead and tell us about yourself. Well, you've already told us about.
I was about to say, I've been on here.
You've been here like
I've
numerous
been here
times.
Twice now, yeah. 3 now.
Go ahead.
I'm Ryan Ague. Mostly just work, game, and also I like to talk about conspiracies.
So that's what you do on your fun time?
Yeah. I do a lot of conspiracy
Do you,
research.
Do you do any like I don't know, you like drawing,
Yeah.
sports, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I can get into drawing.
Okay. Music?
Oh, I love music.
Do you do any music or?
Oh, yeah, I used to be part of the marching band.
All right.
I did that for probably 2-3 years maybe. And then I did choir for a little bit. I still can't sing, but
Hey, fellow choir kid.
yeah.
I actually did choir.
Mhm.
You sing at all, Deputy?
Well, not no more.
No.
Just to myself.
Yeah.
Go ahead and.
My name's Gavin Dodrell. I'm the captain for TCTC's Overwatch esports team. I play games on the side and also dabble in a little music myself. I was on the band for 2 years, and I also used to do some sports, football and baseball.
Nice.
So, my name is Gabe, obviously, as you. I do sports as cross country. I also did drama a bit ago, and I'm going to stick with that through my senior year. I like listening to music as well.
Well, guys, glad to have everybody here. So let's go ahead, get to the subject, and let's go to booking.
The booking.
So, what's your conspiracy?
I decided to do conspiracies about the missing airlines.
Missing airlines.
There's more than one, surprisingly. This seems to be a problem. It's reoccurring. So the first missing airlines we want to talk about is Malaysia Airlines. Malaysia Airlines was a airline that set flight from somewhere in Vietnam, I think it was, and they just lost communication with their radio tower and then disappeared.
Yeah.
They had.
I was thinking Korea, but it could have been Vietnam. But
It was like Vietnam to somewhere, maybe China to
China or
Vietnam.
something.
I don't know. I just know it lost its radar. Like they didn't have it on the radar, and it just hasn't been seen since. Like the plane has not been found. It left zero trace of itself. It left zero trace of itself, pretty much. So I think it had 7 hours of fuel left, and so that was the radius they set from themselves. Where could this plane have made it in 7 hours? And they set that radius to look for it and just found no trace of the plane.
I remember them scouring everything, and that was the crazy thing. I mean, they were in communication. Everything was fine. I believe the weather was clear.
Yeah, it was like the weather had no effect on what the plane.
whatsoever.
Yeah, right.
And 1 minute they're there talking, and next minute they were gone.
Off the radar and never seen again.
Yeah, and
It had somewhat 200 passengers or something, I think it was.
trying to
That
think.
is crazy.
Actually, I think our Navy even went and helped. They had
Well, they set that 7 mile radius, like I said, because they knew they had not 7 miles, hours, 7 hours of
7
fuel.
hours.
So they set that radius and they looked in it and they couldn't find any traces even in the ocean, nothing. So they're like, wow, that's kind of weird. So they're like, okay, let's expand the radius. and they just kept expanding it and still never
Nothing.
found it.
They didn't find, and that's the crazy thing. Usually you'll find like something floating. I mean, like
Something, yeah, right.
suitcases,
A suitcase,
clothing, something, and they found
Yeah,
absolutely nothing.
right.
No sonar hits, no nothing.
I mean, you don't understand, but like no trace. That means they found no metal scrap, no chemicals from the
Chemicals.
plane, none of its oil, none of the closed suitcase people. Like that's like everything of this plane is just gone.
Gone.
Ouch.
Just like the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. I mean, I have no correct like what I think of this, or like I'm not like this is like a yes thing. I'm just kind of like here like it's hard to believe that a plane could leave no trace.
That's the strange. I mean, no one would ever think that, and
Yeah.
yet it happens. We had
Yeah.
military planes just.
Yeah.
They still haven't really found them.
Speaking of it just happens, there was another one that set out of New York to Miami. It was flight 914, I think it was, and this is the most fun conspiracy I think because it's like a ghost movie kind of thing because this plane just disappeared off radars and wasn't seen for a long time, and they couldn't find this one either. And then all of a sudden, it didn't come back to the airport. What I found out is it radared back in 37 years later, so they rounded up to 40. 40 years later, it radared itself back in, and it was
Didn't
back.
somebody actually talk to him though? I
So-
thought they talked to the
so
pilot.
From what I read and what I saw, is the radar came back in, and the plane was on the radar, which so clearly they were confused, like how does this happen? And then apparently the pilot, they talked to the pilot, and they didn't see what the pilot was saying, but they were trying to ask him if he knew if it was the year it was like 1990. They were trying to ask him like, did
Yeah.
you know what year it is? And apparently I didn't see what the pilot said though. Would be intrigued to look
I
further
couldn't
into
remember.
that. Yeah.
And then they were gone again.
And then it was off the radar and still had no trace.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. I mean, these planes with no trace, like what's happening? You know.
That seems crazy.
That could bring us into your UFOs, being sucked up by UFOs or something.
Oh, the UFOs play into the planes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing to my planes? Huh?
Yeah. But, well, I'm not doing anything to your planes, but alien life I can't really talk about because the concept of alien life existing is a broad term because our universe itself is very broad, and we don't really know less than half the stuff that's in there. So the concept of alien life existing and possibly being more intelligent than us, I feel like, is a very high possibility. As well as recently, within I think the last 2 years, the government released classified documents it had about UFOs. that you can
Yeah, I
find
saw
on, like,
that.
the FBI's website.
A big thing about alien life is people tend to forget that life isn't just I can talk, I can breathe, I can walk, like a plant form on another planet. That's alien life
yeah,
because
like-
that plant, like anything that's alive, like plants are alive.
Like plants,
any kind of
bacteria.
molecule, bacteria, right? That's still alien
planet
life. Like if we
harbors
went
some
to
form of
another
life.
planet and found a moss, it's an
Like-
alien life
like
form because
Mars
that moss
has-
is living somehow.
It's not native to Earth.
Right,
Mars has
right.
bacteria on it, I believe, and they were like,
Makes
"Oh,
sense.
it's life."
Yeah, it technically is, but I do agree that I feel like it might be intelligent life out there because, as you said, it's like not explored at all. We
Yeah.
know probably 0.0009 about our universe, some crazy small
I
number.
mean, all right. How many? I've lost count to how many planets they found now that would actually sustain our life. So for anybody to sit there and tell me that on any of these planets, that even though they're exactly like ours,
Yeah.
that there's no life on there, I just find that hard to believe.
Yeah, I think you got to think in the spectrum of like oxygen isn't what contains life. Like other things can be supported by life. Like you said, plants that could survive on our planet, they were surviving on their planet through nitrogen or whatever chemicals keep them alive. So that's kind of impressive to think about that.
Yeah.
The life could maybe breathe.
Oh,
in
see,
completely
and that's
different
just
air.
it. I mean, if there's a planet that's actually like ours with the air, and you could see the water, and you could see actually vegetation
Vegetation, right?
with some of them, where
Who's
they
to say that there's not things that can live like we do? You know,
Yeah.
like same exact humans kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Even before we were able to inhabit this planet, life still existed on it before oxygen was in the atmosphere at all.
Right,
Yeah.
because that's how oxygen formed is from the water. The molecules were binding, and then
Yeah.
it's a very cool story.
Yeah.
But then again,
The idea of them
who
not-
could say that there's not a being out there that's reversed? Like we're sucking up oxygen, they're sucking up carbon.
That's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
was saying is
Yeah.
Like
you don't
what-
know what they survive off of, like
Exactly.
because our planets just happen to be O2 based, like an oxygen based. So
Yeah.
like we learned to we evolved to survive off oxygen. Like imagine they evolved to like survive off helium, like something
Something,
crazy like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like that's what's funny. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and it's unlimited. I mean, there's billions and trillions, and you can just keep going with planets
Yeah.
and solar
Right,
systems,
right.
and galaxies. And,
Yeah, the odds
There's
of there
still
not
life
being
on our planet we don't know about.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the odds of there not being
Like
life somewhere
airplanes
else.
disappearing. But no, I mean, to sit there and really think that we're the center of the galaxy is,
Yeah. It's a bit braggy in my book.
it is.
That's a
It's
bit
narrow-minded thinking is what I view it as.
Yeah. A very strict tunnel vision.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it because the energy that's in the universe has been proved to be like the energy, the positive energy that's in our brain. So it just like makes me feel like we're a good reflection on the universe and
Yeah.
whatnot. But I do
Yeah.
believe that there is other life out there too.
There could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured they just look at us and shake their heads and like move on.
Yeah.
That's not a conspiracy theory, but there's a real theory for that. You ever heard of like 3D to 4D? So think about it. If we when you're playing a video game like Mario, you're 3D, but you're looking at something that's 2D. Well, you'd never be able to see it because it's in 2D world, so it's always looking this way, but you can look down at it. So the idea was, what if an alien life form is 4D and we're 3D? So they can see down on us, and but we can never see past that 3D that we're in to see them. And I was like, that is and they're just like, no.
I've never heard that one, but that's interesting.
like-
They're just
There's-
like, no, we don't want to mess with them. That
They're
was
so inferior that we are going to
Right.
look past it.
yeah. That's I'm saying that's conspiracy theory messed me up for about a day. I had
It's like, well, I could see them up there like doing bets, whatever they bet with. Yeah, I bet. Let's see if they destroy themselves today.
hey, I bet they'll have a plague.
Yeah.
No, they
What will
won't.
this president do today?
Yeah.
But yeah. But speaking of airplanes, to go away from that, there was a flight. I can't remember. Was it American Airlines? There was one where they were using all their parts from like planes that were crashing, which were kind of causing other ones to crash.
Right.
And this one crashed, I think it was Florida in the swamp. And they turned around and they used parts of that jet onto others. And they started seeing, was he the co-pilot? I forget what he was.
The co-pilot and I think members of the staff as well. I
Yeah,
remember hearing about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
popping up on,
Yeah.
Where were they popping up?
on like the other jetliners that had their parts. And basically it was like a warning because they were crashing too.
Yeah.
So it was like pretty much if you saw this dude, he was trying to warn you, and yeah, they ended up I think finally
they
getting
took
sued.
all the parts
and,
off.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was about
My
to say.
my look on that is, why would you take parts from a crashed airplane, which they could be broken, worn, and like
Think of this.
they were
this way.
they were really
Yeah.
saving. They were trying to save their money. I mean, really cheaply.
Yeah.
And that's
No,
that. I
no,
mean, that's what
yeah.
they were
Well,
doing.
think of it this way. Something bad goes on your car, but something simple like an oxygen sensor or something, you just go strip that part from somewhere else and not pay for a brand new one all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's probably what their thought process was. Not that it's a good thought process. for
Yeah,
something.
I don't think.
I don't think we should be comparing a car to a
Yeah,
plane.
Plane,
Yeah,
yeah,
at
especially
all.
when you're
At
carrying
all, but-
passengers. Yeah,
But like
Yeah.
you got to think that that's their logic in the matter. Like that's what they were thinking.
I think their
Yeah.
logic was just saving a dime on their own,
Yeah.
Yeah,
thing.
probably.
and I think that's what it came down to.
Even saving the dime, you got to justify it in your head somehow.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did.
Until they got
Somehow,
sued.
some way.
I can't remember which airliner it was too. So I don't want to really.
I wonder if it exists
Say the
anymore.
wrong-
There's too many. There's too
Yeah.
many
Too
airlines.
many airlines.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And I was a little kid when that actually happened. So I know they did a couple shows on it.
Yeah.
I remember it airing on the TV.
I mean, we want to talk about aircraft, modern aircraft, like we're doing in UFOs and whatnot.
But
I
that
saw something
was
about Canada, UFO spot in Canada or something.
Oh yeah, over
Oh,
the
that, yeah.
Yeah, you see that? What
did.
what was?
I think it was
I didn't look
another one of the.
into
I think it was another one of the balloon situations.
Yeah,
Like
was it a
government.
balloon?
I think it was another
It was
one.
Another
another
China
I think
balloon
another
just
government-
floating around up there.
yeah.
Oh my God! It's a balloon. What do we do? Let's shoot it with a missile.
I mean, yeah, I saw that. I was like, man.
Alaska's big for UFOs. and
That's
Yeah,
what I
just
thought
talk
I
about
saw.
that.
That's what I thought it was, like Alaska area.
Yeah, you got the
UFO.
Alaskan
There was-
Triangle.
Yeah, there was another spot in Alaska.
Alaskan Triangle.
Oh yeah.
I don't read up on like the UFO things
I
often
didn't either.
because
Yeah.
like
Me neither.
I see them and I feel like that can't be real, but I know it
Yeah.
could. It could be.
It's a hard concept to grasp.
Yeah.
But
really
the
is.
people that come up missing, I mean, in this triangle area and all the crazy stuff that happens is pretty.
Didn't when you were talking about those files coming out? Didn't America say they had in the files? Did they not say they had communicated with an extra like a?
I don't remember if it
terrestrial life?
was communicated. I also heard somewhere that they have a couple UFOs stationed across different bases.
We got one here in
Yeah.
Ohio,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Do we?
Dayton. Oh yeah. You know, my brother was stationed there, and
Dayton has the Air Force
Yeah.
Museum as well.
Yeah.
that's where
Oh,
it's
yeah.
at.
Yeah, is
But
it?
there's a hangar there, and you even like I asked him about it when he was stationed. He goes, "Oh, it exists," and even if, like, say a military personnel got too close to the building, you get shot too. I mean, they're armed guards around the building.
Man.
Yeah, wasn't there instance like that in like Area 51 or something?
Yeah,
Like that in
well,
hangars
they-
just
all
specifically
bases
for
like
UFO.
that.
51, they're saying the government doesn't. Yeah, but yeah, you got these guys showing up with guns, and the funny thing is, the government keeps expanding the area where people are allowed, so they can't see. So for having nothing at Area 51, it's like, why are
Yeah.
they doing
Why
it?
is it so
Especially when
hidden?
they all like like.
Why
Do you
is it
remember
so
the
hidden?
raid that happened on Area 51?
Yeah.
That whole
It didn't ever
massive.
really
It
happen.
wasn't really a raid. It was just
They
oh,
all
yeah,
like
we're all
went.
gonna go over
They
there.
all went. We're gonna storm Area 51. Showed up, camped out a night, and left. Kind
Yeah,
of.
exactly.
So there were some people that
At
ran towards it. And
Dayton is supposed to be some of the crash from Roswell, and then also 51 supposedly has the parts from Roswell, and then
Yeah.
there was actually a alien crash that they don't talk about much, but it was like the Roswell thing, and it was like right here actually in Pennsylvania, not too far from us, and where they supposedly recovered parts of a craft and some bodies.
Yeah, that's what I feel like I just saw in those documents that they released. I thought I heard something about them saying that
Yeah.
they had contact with some
And-
kind of
Yeah.
life.
And then the people
Outside of
that
our own,
witnessed it
it was
all of a
like-
sudden got showed up by the men in black showed up, and
Uh,
they're always there threatening people.
Yeah.
say anything, we'll storm your house.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it is.
And that's
So
it.
Smith
It's just
having a field day.
it's just weird how secretive our government is. Like they say they're not doing anything, but then it's like, why is it behind closed doors if you're
Yeah.
not doing anything?
Yeah.
you're not doing
Why do you
anything.
threaten people if it's not that serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, nobody still even knows who these men in black really are.
I mean, they're government workers.
Well, they're
I'm
guard,
sure-
but
I'm sure.
nobody
Yeah.
knows.
What part? Right?
Or-
What stage? Like what part?
Yeah,
Yeah.
FBI, CIA. Who are you?
I would
people?
feel like it'd be CIA, but I don't know. I'm sure
feel
they
like
could.
Central,
They had their own separate division, man.
Yeah.
Probably like the Ghost
Central
Division.
Intelligence, yeah, I would.
The
it'd be,
the aliens
CIA.
are real division.
Yeah.
Well, what was that show with Scully and the X-Files?
Oh,
yeah.
X-Files.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
They were in their little closet with their files.
oh yeah. I think the Men in Black movies are pretty good though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Those are pretty good.
if it's anything like that, I might accept it a little bit.
Some people are saying actually the men in black are actually aliens themselves.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Oh Lord,
These conspiracies get a little too
wild.
Why? Yeah. they're
Yeah.
just like-
So you
Big
guys
time.
will have to start, especially you're in the UFOs.
Yeah.
You'll have to start looking into the men in black.
Yeah.
Start digging too much, they might show up at your front door.
honestly,
Hopefully
you
they bring
just
pizza.
research Men in Black, and then aliens, and eventually they'll just be like, "Sir, stop."
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, we need to talk to you
but
for
you know-
one moment.
Yeah.
Gavin Drew
They've
says
shown
they're
up on
liars.
other things though, like was it the Ohio River where that lady was attacked by some supposedly creature? They actually showed up at her house supposedly and threatened her to never talk about the creature again. Some other, the Mothman.
Ooh, the
Oh,
mom.
the
Mothman.
Mothman.
Yeah,
The
they've
Mothman.
shown up in
I
there.
love how these are movies too. Like,
Yeah.
But they threatened people,
I know, man.
supposedly witnessed it, and not to talk.
Like,
So it's funny that UFOs or whatever, and these dudes show up and it's always the same thing.
Yeah, just tell you to keep quiet or else.
Yeah.
I always feel like with the Mothman and like Bigfoot, or like those mythical creatures like you're talking about, I feel like people always talk about them and about them being real, and I'm always here like, man, I just think if they were real, like they would have presented themselves enough for people to know
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
some
like-
point. So I always struggle with those ones.
Like these like newly found SCPs or whatever they're called.
Oh, dude, I don't want to. Let's not even get into those, dude. It's not. Jeez.
But since we're talking, this leads us really into the Loch Ness. I mean,
Really?
there's your.
Mythical creatures.
Mythical
But I don't think
Yeah.
it's mythical. I really do. I mean,
The Loch Ness monster took place in Scotland, and they seen like one photo of it, and everybody started swarming the, I think it's like Loch Ness, Lake Ness.
The
something like-
lake's name is like Loch Ness.
No, Loch
yeah.
Ness.
Yeah,
Like Nessie or like the nickname Nessie.
the
Yeah.
nickname
The
is
nickname,
Nessie,
the monster Nessie.
and some people think that it's in the Marianas Trench, which I believe because we only explored like what 5% of the ocean.
Well,
Uh,
anything could be in the Marianas Trench.
Anything.
Yeah,
If you
that's
think about
true.
it, any kind of life form, like, dude, I don't think we haven't even been able to touch the surface of the Mariana Trench, right? I didn't think so.
No,
So,
we only
like,
went down.
and-
the
anything could
gravity
be down there.
crushes. I mean, it's so much.
That's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
those creatures, whatever creatures are down there, can withstand the gravity. So like it
Shoot.
could be anything if you think about it.
Really good, but they were showing pictures of it, and it's just this like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a horse, pretty much. It's a horse underwater. It just has like giant neck, huge legs. It could swim really fast. There's only been one photo of it, and it just disappeared off the map after that.
Mm.
So
Really nobody.
Well,
talks
actually,
about
no.
it, basically.
There's other people. There's actually numerous pictures of
Of
it
sightings,
through the
sightings,
years.
sightings. it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
I love the
And they were
aircrafts.
better than the little neck thing that was,
true, yeah.
which they think.
Yeah, that's
was
what I was
totally
thinking about
staged.
the original picture. That was just literally like a dinosaur neck and then
Yeah.
head, and
Yeah.
that's literally it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what is it? Platysaur is what it's supposed to.
Platysaurus. Is
Platysaurus.
that what it is?
Something like that. Yeah.
I could look it up.
Yeah, but they also match.
Gotcha.
There's a lake over in what was it, Norway, and a lot of people have seen this big like snake kind of creature, and
That's
the
what
fact that they filmed it,
Mhm.
a bunch of people have filmed it, and it's like, well, what is that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like 50, 60 feet long.
Oh,
Yeah.
Plesiosaurus.
Yeah.
Plesiosaurus.
Plus.
Yeah. Plastosaurus.
And then, like I was telling you guys, we got the five finger lakes, and I forget the name of that. And it's
Yeah.
supposed to be, and there again, these lakes are like, those are glacier lakes, and they're like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet deep.
Yeah.
So,
I couldn't imagine a lake being like that deep, to be honest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But hey, anything can happen.
oh, and like Loch Ness, and I think the one in Norway or wherever it's at.
Yeah.
And actually, these actually, there's riverways, and they all really hook up into the ocean.
Ah.
I mean, they found sharks all the way up in St. Louis,
Oh yeah, because
traveling up.
Yeah, because
So-
they
Yeah.
travel up the rivers into
Yeah.
the lakes.
Yeah.
That was a big problem in St. Louis or New Orleans or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
What's it called? Sharks traveling up the lake or rivers to
Invasive?
get in the
Yeah.
lakes. I mean, no. People would just be trying to go for a swim in the lake or chilling out lakes or something.
And there's a bull shark,
They'd see
Yeah.
the sharks
which
in
is
the
one of the most aggressive sharks.
They were like They were
Yeah.
reporting it. They're like, we see sharks in the lake. They're like, no,
No, you don't.
no, you don't. That's not possible. They can't survive in
I mean,
fresh
fresh
water
water.
for that long. They can't survive in fresh water. Well, little did they know, as they were heading back to the ocean, coming back up to the lake. I mean, it's
I
crazy.
mean, there are freshwater sharks, right? I'm pretty sure there's like the bull shark or whatever.
No, that's
That's a saltwater.
saltwater.
Ah.
The bull shark is actually one of the most
I think
vicious sharks.
freshwater sharks are usually just the
Really
Yeah.
small,
The
small
guys.
ones.
Yeah, the
ones,
small
yeah.
Right,
guys.
yeah,
That's
like
all
the
that you
mall
s-
aquarium.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
those are
and they don't
freshwater.
really attack anybody.
Yeah.
I
Just-
mean, they can bite you. It's not.
They
gonna
call it
hurt
a
you.
shark because it kind of looks like a shark.
Yeah, right.
I got one in my tank at home.
Yeah, right.
Little
Yeah.
red fin. He's about the long. He likes
Oh
to
yeah,
hide.
we used to
Yeah.
have like a little
It's a
leopard.
bottom feeder.
We used to have like a shark that was called like a leopard or something, and it's
Yeah.
like it was like this big, but it just looked like a shark. Had the nice sharp fin,
Yeah.
rough teeth, and that's about it though.
But yeah, I mean, who's to say?
Who's to say what could happen?
Now Nessie hasn't been seen though. I think in
What, like 30, 40 years or something like that. It was.
Ouch.
At least no sighting has been reported.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
sighting has been reported for a while.
yeah, I don't think it's been that long. I want to say
You want me to look up last sighting?
something like
Yeah.
maybe the 80s or 90s.
I
It
feel
was
like
like
I feel like
1990.
80s feels right.
Yeah. 'Cause that was like the big.
See that I'm gonna say that don't feel long.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up at.
Yeah.
Sighting. Okay, so the last Loch Ness sighting is what we're looking up. It went to shopping.
Oh yes, we're gonna go shopping for the Loch Ness monster.
Oh, I mean, this is always so fun with media nowadays.
Well,
2022 Loch Ness sighting, but like,
Yeah.
you
Blah,
know,
blah, blah, blah.
it's all, yeah, it's kind of hard to tell.
But as you were saying, like they can swim upstream. It could be anywhere
It could be.
if it's still alive. Because
Man,
as you were
love
saying,
media.
it
Yeah.
it could be like 120 years old. No one knows. They
Right.
just don't.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think there's one in Canada too. This starts with an S. I'm trying to think of the name. I mean, I can like picture it, but it's again all these sightings look almost like the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much
Yeah.
that dinosaur.
The plesiosaurs.
and,
Yeah.
and, you know they're finding like stuff all the time that are popping up that's supposed to have been extinct, and it's like, oh look, there it is. It's like,
Yeah.
where did that thing come from?
Exactly. Like how long has it been surviving for?
Exactly.
Is it something more recent, or is it something that can like, was it there when the dinosaurs were there? It's something like that. And if it was there for that long, how much longer does it have to live?
Exactly.
And then, is there more than one? I mean, it'd have to be if you keep seeing one over a decade of years. I mean, when was
Yeah.
the first sighting of the Loch Ness? I can't remember. It was
yeah.
before I was born.
I'm sure it was before the 1900s.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So,
That's the thing. Like myths just live on. Have you noticed? Like every state, every country, every town, like anywhere, will always have some myth about some kind of creature. Like almost anything.
Or some little urban legend.
Some
Yeah.
urban legend about some kind of creature, and everyone has them. Like every
Yeah.
place ever you go to will have them. But it's just kind
well,
of
see, that's what you got to start asking yourself, because
it's like
if
everyone has one, does that mean these
got to
weird
exist,
creatures
especially
exist somewhere? Yeah.
if you're talking like these monks in Tibet or something, and a lot of them don't have TV, radios, or whatever, and they're telling you this is what we saw, this is what we have, and it's like these dudes aren't there to be famous.
Yeah.
Oh, in fact, here's a good example. It was in Africa, and it was like this tribe. They have hardly any contact with like outsiders. I mean, they're like legitly stepping back into time like 100 years. This is how they're.
Wow.
But you guys know who Josh Gates is?
Not
explain who he
really.
is. Can you explain?
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, Josh Gates. He's like a cryptozoologist. Yeah,
Cryptozoologist.
yeah, and traveling around. He's had a couple series, but they went over to this thing and they had a book of pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, it's probably a hippo, or it's probably this big crocodile, blah, 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 blah. So they're showing all these creatures to these people, which like penguins. These people have never seen what a penguin looked like in their entire life.
Yeah, right. Until they were shown.
And they're
What's
like,
this?
No, they're like, shaking their heads. No. And they're flipping
We
through
have-
all these pages of everything.
We have no idea what this is or
And
how
all of a
this
sudden they
happened or
came to
why.
a dinosaur that happens to be looking like the one whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they're like, everyone's going, that's it.
Exactly.
And this thing they're talking about, it eats them. If you get too close to the water, it'll come up. It ate some of the kids. It ate some of the adults.
Yeah.
That's That's so weird. So, a lot of sightings of those kind of things are explained in different kind of ways. So, like that, I don't understand. But like,
I mean,
you
you
know,
could-
like, you know the chupacabra thing.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
so,
it was.
so some of the ideas of that is like they saw a real animal. So some like a wolf dog, you know, some that's like nice, small, and like has the same shape.
Yeah.
And then some behind it like a leaf maybe. That's why it has the like things on its back. And then that's always what they chop it up to.
or
is,
some
like,
dog with mange.
Yeah.
It's like,
or just
that doesn't look like a dog with
or
mange
dude,
to me.
just something like just something deformed, like a
Yeah.
deformed animal. But they like make up this story in their head to try to like explain what it was to themselves. Try to explain what it is to themselves. So
Yeah.
and then it always evolves into like one of those myths or something like
Yeah.
that. So
You know, there's always truth. When you start digging into stuff, and like you said, and you got sightings on this side of the world, especially when you go back in time, because let's
Yeah.
face it, this side of the world wasn't talking to this side of the world. But
Yeah.
you're finding a same creature here, there,
yeah.
and you're going back, and there for hundreds of years, like say our American Indians, Bigfoot.
Yeah.
They all have a story of these big hairy guys. Some of them actually gone to war with these big hairy guys.
Yes.
Others are afraid.
Yeah.
I mean, so why are you running? You're gonna tell me that didn't exist? Because to them it sure did, and they
Yeah.
got stories of it.
Exactly.
It's kind of like the, like in China, it's the dragons
Oh,
that
yeah.
they so called. It was like the dragons, and then we had the Loch Ness. It's like the different
Yeah.
variations
it's
of
just
it.
different kind
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
per where you are. It's just your area depends on.
Yeah.
So like and like how Mothman, like you'll see that through a couple states, or like down south, like the chupacabra, like we were saying, you'll see that
Yeah.
through a couple states. It's kind of, as I said, like animals based on your area. It's kind of like easier to chop it up to something such as that.
I feel like most stories or like legends are based in some form of truth. from
Truth.
somewhere
Well,
with
yeah,
the-
somewhere it's got to be.
That's what I was saying with the
like,
stories
through
of
the
them, like
grapevine of man.
them just seeing like a dog that might be disformed or something that's disformed, you know, or just seeing
Yeah.
an animal that might have something behind it that makes it look grand, and they just like in their head they really believe that they saw something. You know what I mean?
But sometimes though, when you keep getting that same creature popping up, and everyone's saying it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, you know, I can't just dismiss them like, oh, you're lying, or you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who am I to come up and say, well, you didn't see that?
Yeah.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Well,
I'm
I
actually the
agree.
fool. I'm the fool for, you know, calling you a
Yeah,
liar.
you don't dismiss anyone's truth.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because dismissing someone else's truth kind of does make you look like the fool. If they saw that, you could be like, "Oh man, I don't know if I believe that, but I believe you like might have saw that." You know, just don't be like, "That's fake." No, because it's never fun.
Yeah.
Also, if we didn't have these myths and just dismiss all these myths, it'd be so boring. Like he said, he researches them. I've watched videos about him about all these myths, and I probably spent hours doing that. But it's just fun, man.
Yeah. Well, and like, let's see. Vampires.
I mean,
I've been seeing a lot of things about
Yeah,
vampires.
Vampires I like too. It's just fun to believe this stuff, you know? Like
But
Yeah.
you know,
Just to
there
think-
again, vampires go back and
so far.
yeah,
it's the
and some of
medieval
them
era.
not all blood sucking things. There's like these, I don't know, they like
Older kind of white pale human. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just-
but like
just
they
the
like
pigment of them.
they actually like suck your life force out of you. I mean, like
Kind of like some witch.
Yeah,
has-
yeah,
right,
somehow.
right.
Witch, we must burn
More of a-
there was that one New Orleans. There was a lot of stories of this dude popping up, and actually some people were dying, being killed. But literally, they had this. There's a video of it. If you ever watch Paranormal Catch On or Caught On,
Yeah.
you'll see it once in a while. But there's like this dude, like literally, kind of flying up the building, and he was like a big building. It's like, well, how did he do that?
What the dog doing?
Yeah, so I don't know.
If I may, Deputy, jump back to the modern type theories. I have a small little theory that I could think of.
Go ahead.
Do you guys know about Ophiocordyceps or what they are?
I actually have zero idea what that is.
Okay,
and
so-
I feel like I'm pretty educated on most topics, but I
Yeah.
definitely don't know what that is. Explain.
So, the definition, an Ophiocordyceps is a parasitic-like fungus that infects like smaller insects, which are more predominantly in tropical forests.
Okay, I lied. I do know this theory. Are you going to talk about this possibly affecting humans?
Yeah, like
Okay, so
not like a Last of Us infection, but like
It is The Last of Us. That's not the same, but
not
that's
entirely.
That's the idea.
I'm pretty sure The Last of Us is based off of that.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I.
wasn't
it's
there
based
some kind
a
of
little-
That's what I was.
parasite that
That's
was
what,
taking over
that's what I was
everybody?
asking. Is this what The Last of Us is based off of?
Yeah, somewhat.
I do
but
know
I
this
have
actually good.
like a more rounded theory that's not pushing towards The Last of Us.
Yeah.
So basically,
Perfect.
what I'm thinking, because how this fungus works is it infects smaller insects and alters their behavior, so it makes them leave their colony or leave their nests and thrive on the forest floor, where where this fungus is more likely to reproduce. And so afterwards, this insect, they will crawl up under a leaf or stape themselves on a tree, and the fungus will just keep growing afterwards and release spores. So my theory about this is that since all back to the topic of evolution, this fungus could evolve to withstand higher internal temperatures. So instead of infecting insects, it could start jumping to rodents like rats or like frogs, and then to dogs and cats, and then possibly humans.
That's what The Last of Us kind of idea is.
Kinda like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because this fungus, by the way, puts these insects. He didn't mention in a zombie trans-like state.
Yeah.
Like the zombie deers
Yeah,
that
like,
are happening.
Kind of what a zombie would be,
Would be.
to
Like-
definition, but not.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna right.
No,
It's-
they're not gonna like jump at you, try to bite you,
Bite,
and
yeah.
spread
Yeah.
it to you. But like,
yeah, but it can get spread to you, right?
yeah, like
So-
if you breathe in the spores, or like the spore comes into contact with
Basically
you, then
used you as a host and then
use you as a
Killed
host,
you.
kill you via
and yeah.
putting spores into your bloodstream.
Yeah, so that's the idea, is that it can evolve and keep going up until it gets to humans. There was something to discredit that though, of The Last of Us got discredited by scientists. I can't remember how.
Yeah, I feel like they're looking more into the game and not like evolution itself. Like,
Yeah,
because
they just try to make it work.
Yeah.
Into them. But it's a new show that's using that as well.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the
Is that what it's called? Last of Us?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, it's a show on
basically
the
based
game.
off the game.
It is the show on the
Yeah.
game. I honestly forgot it was a game. I was talking about the show. He said game, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, hey guys, we need to move on to
Embarrassing moments.
my favorite time. That is
You say that episode after episode.
it is my favorite time.
Favorite moment.
That's embarrassing.
I mean, I believe it's your favorite time saying that.
I like
Never
listening to
again. It's gotta
everybody
be.
else's problems.
It's gotta be true if you just keep saying it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
I've done two embarrassing moments, so I'd like to still.
Go ahead, tell us your
No, I'm
moment.
recovering.
You're-
I've done two. I'm recovering. And then one of my guests did one that was still my embarrassing moment.
That's true.
That's awful.
Go ahead. Start.
I think my most embarrassing moment is back in like third, fourth grade. I went up and I went to go like give the teacher my test, and I slipped right in front of the class, like it was mid assignment. I just walked up and I went droop right underneath me, hit my head. The teacher was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I think so."
And man got his test done first. Man got his test done first, real confident, smacks it on the desk so everyone looks at him, walks up with all the confidence, just over. Completely finished.
That like.
That was it.
Alright, who's next? Gavin, do you have yours ready?
Yeah, Gavin.
Yeah.
Alright, good.
All right, let's see it.
I'd say one of my most embarrassing moments would be something that a lot of people do, is just calling your teacher mother. Just like a teacher topic, or I've never called a teacher dad.
You have
I've always said
a
mom.
story about this recently?
Recently, not really. It was a couple years ago. I do have a recent story that happened when we were at state for the BPA competitions.
Good with
Where
that one.
I was like, I remember being tired. I don't actually remember doing it. I remember doing it, but like what was happening around me. There was a popcorn machine. It was at the dinner. It was popcorn, and in the back there was a nacho cheese stick, like a nacho station. So I grabbed a ball of popcorn, went to the nacho station, put nacho cheese on it, mixed it up, and then ate it. And it appeared on the TCTC time.
Yeah.
I think the week
Oh.
later.
Yeah.
The week
So you
after the
didn't
state, it
you didn't
appeared
mean
on
to
it.
grab popcorn?
Oh no, I did. Like, I meant to try it.
Oh,
I
so
just
the
didn't know what was
embarrassing
happening around me.
and then the
then
embarrassing
I found
moment
out when I came to school.
is
it was
that
on
you were
the
being
TCTC
recorded
thing.
eating
Yeah.
popcorn with cheese on it.
Yeah.
I feel like most of those videos that were taken were like, because the camera was like low when this happened. It was mostly on your hands, so I feel like that was like a little bit non-consensual. But that's.
I mean, I don't remember.
We're,
it
me-
happening.
we're web and media students. I mean, the consent for filming through our program shouldn't be a big thing. That's not a big
Yeah.
thing for us. Is like we know what we're in our program, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
See,
very
I was wondering
media-based.
where you was going with this. I was waiting for you to say that you called one of the teachers' mom.
That's what I was
I thought that's where we was going with this.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear
We went
about a
to
story
nacho
of,
Not
popcorn.
and I asked, Mom, can you please get that for me? Can't reach the fork.
You're up, Gabe.
All right, so I usually have a bunch of embarrassing moments. Most of them are like I have a bad stutter when talking to people sometimes. So one time, because I have a bunch of friends on Xbox and we talk and we joke around a lot, and so I was trying to say that this friend of mine had something happen and I stuttered by trying to say deficiency. It was like, just
So now, well, let me guess. The whole chat just started going at you.
exactly.
You started screaming it back at you.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have a normal stutter. You could just like stutter once
Yeah,
while
like,
you're talking to your
I'm
friends
not-
on the game. You're like, hey guys, you want? Yeah, and then you're like, yeah. It's like, bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
Have mercy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm not diagnosed with the stutter, and yet this keeps happening all the
Yeah.
time.
It happens.
When's
It
the-
happens a
When's the
lot.
last time you gave an embarrassing moment? Have you only ever given one?
I remember the.
Oh, I actually retold one just an episode ago.
You retold one? Do you have a new one? Do you have like a recent one? Recent history, something happened that you want to talk about?
Most of mine I can't talk about. When I do things, I do them really good.
He's like, I mess up, but I mess up the best.
Yeah, it's true.
This isn't a competition, deputy.
Yeah.
Man.
No, most of mine are like rated R.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah, so
Some of them police work.
Yeah.
yeah. And besides, I mean, I think I threw the biggest one out there. Who else has been running around in their underwear? doing
Yeah,
skate park?
I'm not.
Raccoon and Tupperware.
Yeah, raccoon
yeah,
and
you-
Tupperware. I mean,
You did the biggest one out there. I just got 3 back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, jeez.
yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for someone to top my Tupperware one.
I really do want to hear someone come in with like a crazy one. I think the one episode I was on, there were some decent ones, but I just think I want someone to come in here with one, and your jaws are dropped. Everyone's
I
just
have
like, everyone's
I'm
like,
waiting
what
for
is
that one.
happening?
I have another one. So I wasn't really the smartest or like socially aware person back in like 6th grade, and so one time, because my cousin, we go to the same school, or we used to, and he was talking to his friend, and he was like, "Oh, go on ahead," and I thought he was talking to me. So I kept going on ahead, and my grandma, she lives in a house like near my school, and so I went to go there, and then I saw my brother and my cousin back there. I look left, start to cross the street, and I just smack into a car.
Like, was it parked or was it
No,
moving?
it was moving.
So wait, you walked into a moving car? The car kind of ran you into you.
What happened was this car was moving, right? And I was looking left, and I ran out into the street, and like I smacked the hood of the car, fell back. And the funny part, the dude gets out, checks his hood first, sees me on the ground, and goes, "Oh, are you okay?"
Checks
Oh,
his
good. Oh, my hood's good.
Yeah,
Hey, are you still alive?
He runs runs up to his hood. He pulls his sleeve up. He's like, hey,
Yeah.
oh, you're good, right? Keep shining.
Exactly what happened.
He wasn't even talking about you. He was just like, "Is my hood okay?"
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Gabe's like, yeah, and he's like, no, the car, not you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look past it though. It's whatever. I remember the next day I was like, somebody at my table was like, "Are you a government robot or something?" Because you smacked on it pretty good.
Oh, there's some good ones there. Not the robots, but
Yeah.
like those people that pop out of nowhere and they walk like a robot.
NPC. Let's
Yeah,
not do it.
we gotta go into that
I
one
was
next
gonna
time.
say,
Yeah.
Maybe
But-
part 3?
Yeah,
Anyone?
there's never an end to
Are we calling for a
conspiracies.
part
Yeah,
3?
never ending
NPC
conspiracies.
conspiracy theory? Huh?
So let's move on to things to know before you go.
Things to know.
Yeah, we don't have a
I
jingle
didn't.
for that.
No, we don't. I didn't know we added this segment.
Yeah.
What is the things to know?
Like what's going on? You guys have anything going on with your labs?
Cool
Anything?
music. Oh yes. Okay, guys. So things to know. The Just Drive lab is it's a lab. Just Drive lab is coming up for us, which is
right.
safety driving and safety within driving. Don't be on your phone. Don't text and drive. Same difference.
Don't eat while driving.
Don't eat while driving. Just don't be distracted. Don't let your friends distract you. And that Just Drive lab is coming up. I think you can see more of it on the TCTC homepage and even the media site. So maybe just look into that. And
Date
figure
is
out
April 6th.
April 6th. So just figure out more about that and remember to be safe while driving.
Yep, and we got this is the last game night
Oh,
coming
I
up.
need to get to that,
WWD.
deputy.
What day is it?
I'm pretty sure it's like the second
It's
Thursday
the
of the
second
month.
Thursday. I don't know what the date is,
Maybe I'll request off and do the last game night.
but it's the second Thursday of what we're going into April.
What time does that start?
5:30 to 9.
Maybe let's try to make this the biggest game night if we can.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Just try to.
I gotta get
I
there.
might
Yeah.
I might even request off. End up at the game night. Sounds quite fun.
I need to
Is it-
find a
That's
chessboard
it.
and bring it.
Oh, we do have chessboards.
I mean,
Really
it's such a
cool.
great opportunity because you remember that faculty and people like the deputies in our school, they're just even though they're like our authority, they're still like people you can talk to.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
enjoy and
That
have a
was
good
the whole
time
idea.
with. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. So maybe make this last game night the biggest game night if
That'd
we
be
can.
cool.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Are you saying we need to order more pizza?
Might have to.
Well, see,
That's the
I've
hope.
done that once before, and then we ended up with like 4 or 5 extra pizzas that kind of went to waste. So,
Yeah.
Shoot,
Yeah.
I might take one home, deputy.
well, we've done that.
if we
It's
have
like,
it,
yeah.
I'll take one home.
If we can make this the biggest game night, it'd be great. That's all I'm
That would
saying.
be-
So I think that's
Anything else happening in your guys' lab? Are we all good?
Yeah.
Not really.
any big events coming up. Well, you guys, that's after school. I mean,
Yeah.
in the summer. When do you guys travel?
No,
Oh.
that's during school.
Is
The,
that-
Yeah, away.
the nationals.
Yeah, the nationals.
It's kind of hard for us because I don't think any of
That
us
is in
are a
like
part of
that's,
that.
that's
Yeah.
like in May.
Yeah, no,
May.
it's end April.
End of April.
Yeah.
I thought it was May.
So
Alright.
that's when they leave, and that's kind of we'll have a few podcasts before then. So otherwise, remember to Just Drive, look into the Just Drive lab, and let's make it the biggest game night we can.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
All right, it's time to go out of service.
All right.
See you next time. Oh, hit those like buttons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like, comments are off.
Yeah.
Subscribe.